Okay, so first I'm going to walk through on the requisition approvals and then PO approvals. And later we will see the negotiation approvals. Negotiation approvals is nothing but our RFQ approvals. So after creating the RFQ, request for quotation, and it has to be approved internally. Once it is approved internally, we can send to the supplier. Based on our RFQ document, the supplier is going to send us the quotation. After receiving the quotations, we will identify which is the best quotation. So for the best quotation, this is the approvals. We can configure approvals from here. And after that, this is all related to supplier approvals only. Hope you remember the supplier can be created in multiple ways. So in case if you registered the supplier, that's called internal registration. For that, we can configure approvals by using this task. And this is external registration, nothing but using the URL. Okay, if the supplier got registered using the URL, we can configure approvals by using this task. This is profile change approvals, nothing but if the supplier is updating his profile information from the supplier portal. So we can configure approvals for that. This is internal profile change approvals, nothing but we are updating the supplier information. And this is promoting the supplier from prospect to spend authorized. So if you want to configure approvals in these stages, you can configure. That we'll discuss in the coming classes. Okay. So first we will see requisition approvals. And I will show you the UI because the UI you have to understand, because by looking at the UI itself, some people may confuse. I will explain you the screen UI. So from the procurement approvals, and I'm navigating to the requisition approvals. So here, if you see the screen, there are a lot of columns are there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. So we'll discuss about these 5 columns. And this is nothing but stage. This is nothing but stage. Okay, so here you have pre-approval. 3 stages are there: pre-approval, and then main approval, and post-approval. Post-approval, 3 stages of approvals are there. Okay, so these 3 stages of approvals are nothing but, suppose you are creating a requisition for somebody. You are the preparer. But I'm the requester. Why you are the preparer? Because I don't have Oracle applications login, or maybe I'm on vacation. I requested you to create a requisition. So you are creating a requisition. So you are the preparer. And who is the requester here? I'm the requester. So we can take as a pre-approval, we can take request approval. Suppose I'm working under finance department. Okay, and you can take my approval. After that, my manager approval. It has to go to my manager approval. So manager approval you can configure in the main approval stage. So pre-approval we are taking from requester, because requester is the person who is having the requirement. We are taking the approval from the requester in the pre-approval stage, and in the main approval stage we are routing to the requester department approval. Suppose I am from finance department, and you can take my finance department manager approval or my manager approval. Okay, that can be configured in the main approval stage. And as part of the post approval stage, we can take the approvals from the funds manager, because if there is a requisition that need to be procured from the supplier, right? So to procure from the supplier, we have to spend some money. So for spending the money, we can take the approval from the funds manager approval, or we can also take the approval from the buyer. So after the main approval completed, we can take the approval from the buyer, or we can take the approval from the funds manager. So 3 stages of approvals can be configured: pre-approval, approval, and post-approval. Okay. In every stage, if you see, there are 2 parallel stages are there. In case of pre-approval, also 2 parallel stages are there. In case of main approval, also 2 parallel stages are there. In case of post-approval, also parallel stages are there. Okay. So this routing is nothing but, you see parallel, and you see F5, and you see serial. Okay. F5 is nothing but, if you configure anybody as part of the stage, that person will be receiving for your information notification. Okay, nothing but that kind of notifications just for the information. Approver need not to take any action. It's just for his information. That's it. FI notification. But in case of parallel and serial, the approver should take the action. Approver should approve the document or approver should reject the document. Approver should take the action in case of parallel and serial. But what is the difference between parallel and serial? What's the difference between parallel and serial is? So in case of serial, we take the approval in a serial fashion. Nothing but first approver should approve. After that, second approver. After that, next approver. Suppose as part of your approval hierarchy, if these three people has to approve the document, means first approval goes to A. First approval goes to A, and after A take the action, nothing but if A approves, then only it goes to B. Then only it goes to B. Suppose if B rejects, the document gets rejected completely. Suppose if B approves, then approval goes to C. So we are taking approval in a serial fashion. Okay. But in case of parallel, parallel, we take the approval. Approval notification is sent to the approvers parallelly. Approval notification is sent to the approvers parallelly. Okay, you see here, A receives the approval notification, B also receives the approval notification, C also receives the approval notification. But in case of parallel, consensus is there. Consensus nothing but everyone should approve. Everyone should approve. Consensus nothing but A should approve, B should approve, and C should approve. But all the three people is gonna receive the approval notification at the same time parallelly. I'll receive, you'll receive, and some other person all receive parallelly approval notification. But in case of serial, one after another. Correct? Clear so far?
Yes.
And in case of parallel, there is one more is there that's called first responder wins. First responder wins. In case of first responder wins, so see the name itself, anyone. Okay, A received notification, B received, and C received. Who is approving or who is responding first? Okay, suppose if B approves, then automatically approval notification get withdrawn from A login and C login. Suppose if C approved, automatically approval notification gets withdrawn from A and B login. That means in case of first responder wins, only one person approval is fine. If any one of them are approved, that is enough. But in case of consensus, everyone should approve. Everyone should agree with the document. Okay. So in case of parallel, two are there, consensus and first responder wins. Suppose if you configure approvals, here, suppose as part of that stage, if a couple of people has to approve that requisition, means everybody should approve the requisition, because see the voting here. Voting here is everybody should vote. And first responder means if anyone votes, that is enough. Okay. And also participant is nothing but the name. Okay. In case of if you see here, in case of FI routing, F5. Okay. And in case of parallel, pre-approval, header consensus, pre-approval, header first responder wins. In case of serial, you'll see hierarchy. The name you'll see as hierarchy, because here in the main approval also, you see header hierarchy. And in case of parallel, consensus and first responder wins. And this is again a serial, hierarchy 2 and hierarchy 3. Okay. And if you go to inside this approvals, Suppose, let me take any stage that is not having any approval rules. I am picking up the stage. I'm entering inside edit rules. So here the structure is rule name, and the conditions. We build the conditions, and then if the conditions are satisfied, action 1, and then action 2, we can configure a couple of actions. Okay, this is the structure. So rule name and followed by conditions and followed by actions. Okay, now let me configure one rule. I'm clicking on the new button. I'm entering the rule name. Your batch number is T3. So the rule name, it will not allow to start with the number. That's why I'm starting with the character. Requisition amount less than 100. Requisition amount less than 100, or you can configure less than or equal to here. The rule name I'm configuring like less than or equal to. Okay, this is the rule name, and click on OK. Rule name and description, and followed by the conditions. I'm going to write the conditions here. Okay, you click on add conditions. And here you can fetch a lot of conditions. If I click on search, I can see the conditions here, line level conditions and header level conditions. Suppose if you want to fetch only header level conditions in the dimension field, search with the requisition header, and click on search. Then you see all the requisition header related attributes here. Requisition header related attributes. Now, out of all these attributes, first I will explain you few attributes. Requisitioning BU. Okay. And otherwise, requisition amount. I am selecting requisition amount. Click on OK. So this is the condition. If the requisition amount is, see the operator is less than or equal to 100. See the operator, this is condition, attribute is nothing but condition. We are trying to use the condition called requisition amount, and the operator less than or equal to, and the value 100. If the requisition amount is less than or equal to 100, I'm selecting OK. I've just written only one condition, but like this we can write a lot of conditions. I'll configure one by one, and I'll explain one by one. And if I go to actions, see here, click on add action. If the requisition amount is less than or equal to 100, what is the action that you want to take? You want to route for approvals. So here approvals are nothing but, suppose if you configure supervisor hierarchy, the supervisor hierarchy is nothing but, for every employee in the company, there should be a manager. If you are working in a small company or big company, for every employee, there's going to be a manager. Right? If it is a small company or it's a big company, you have a supervisor. Okay. So we would like to follow the supervisor hierarchy, nothing but the manager hierarchy. Okay. So in case of supervisor hierarchy, the approval should start from whom? Suppose I'm the requester and you are the preparer. Suppose if you select approval chain as requester, it will follow whose hierarchy? My hierarchy. Because requester is Krishna here. So I want the requester hierarchy to be followed. Okay. And approval should start from the manager, my manager. It is going to follow whose hierarchy? My hierarchy. Because I'm the requester, it follow requester hierarchy. And approval is going to start from whom? My manager. Suppose if you enter one here, suppose if you enter here, one means one person approval is okay. That means my manager approval is okay. Suppose if you enter two people approval, nothing but approval is going to start from whom? My manager, and my manager should approve. After that, my manager should approve. Two people should approve. Two people should approve. My manager, manager. If three means approval is going to start with whom? My manager. After that, my manager. Clear? And top worker in the hierarchy, generally, top worker is nothing but CEO of the company. Okay. And the system is not going to validate whether the employee that you are selecting is a CEO or not. You can enter any you can enter any employee name here. It's not a problem. Generally, the top worker is the CEO, but if you enter any person name, it will take, not a problem. So I'm writing, I'm routing to whose hierarchy? Supervisor hierarchy. Okay, like that. We can also configure single approver also. Any questions in the supervisor hierarchy team? You're good with this field?
Yes, sir. One question.
Hmm.
Here starts with manager, is there, right? The system will route after that, like.
Suppose if I select requester.
Okay.
Suppose if I select requester, it will start with my approval. I'm the requester, right?
Yes.
Suppose I entered one only. That means you're expecting only one person approval. Okay. And approval should start from whom? Requester. Suppose if I approve it, that's it, right? Suppose if I enter two, approval has requester and
after the request.
Manager. Requester and manager, because the other guy is supervisor hierarchy. We are using supervisor hierarchy.
Oh.
My manager. So approval has to start from the requester or requester manager. Suppose if I select requester, I should approve. After that, who should approve? My manager should approve, because I entered how many people approval here? Two people approval. Good now?
Yes, sir.
Everyone good? Comfortable?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Next, top worker in the hierarchy, you can enter any person name here. You can enter any employee name here. Next hierarchy is single approver. When I say single approver, you can directly enter the person who will approve it. The employee name directly you can enter. So route using single approver, and user time I'm selecting worker. Okay, you can enter directly the employee name. And in case of single approver, you can also select you want approval from requester. You want approval from single requester. Single approval means only one approval. Or you want approval from preparer. Or you want approval from the assigned buyer. Assigned buyer means at the time of creating a requisition, hope you remember, we can also enter the buyer name. I'm creating a requisition. I entered your name as a buyer because I want you to process that requisition into purchase order. That's why I have entered your name as a buyer. So here in this case, who should approve? You should approve, because you are the nominated buyer. Okay. Or else, this is dynamic. Dynamic in the sense, whichever, these are all persons are related to the document. Assigned buyer, requester, and preparer. But you want to select somebody who is not related to the document, who is not related to requisition. You can select user type as worker and enter the employee name. So this is single approver. Okay. There are another 3 hierarchies are there. We will discuss those 3 hierarchies shortly. Okay. Now I selected approval required. Suppose if you are expecting automatic approval. automatic action. Since the amount is small, just for 100 rupees and $100, if you think approval is not required, you can set it to automatic approval also. What I've done, I've set it to automatic approval, because since this is $100 or 100 rupees, it's a small amount. For this just small amount, we don't need any approval. So let's auto approve the requisition. Let's auto approve the requisition. We can also automatically take an action, automatically approve the requisition, or automatically reject option is also there. Suppose if you're expecting approval from anybody, then you have to select the first option, that is approval required, and you have to call the hierarchy, whether you want to call supervisor hierarchy or you want to call single approver. Which hierarchy you want to call, you have to select, and you have to provide the details. But in this case, what we are doing, we are automatically approving the requisition. Why we are automatically approving? Because it's a small amount. For the small amount, we don't require any approvals. Based on the client requirement, we configure rule like this. Okay. This is how we create rules. And I'm creating one more rule. Okay, to create one more rule, you can create from scratch. Or you can duplicate also. You can click on the duplicate button. I'm clicking on the duplicate button. Now, if the requisition amount is between 100K to 500K, between 100 to 500, I'm using between operator. Okay. And click on OK. So this is the second rule. And coming to the condition, we need to change the condition, right? We need to change the condition or not?
Yes.
It's less than or equal to, we have to update the condition. So if I click on edit, since I duplicated, I'm editing this condition. And here operator, I would like to use the between here. Between, and you can enter the between the range here, 100 to 500. But here, in case of between operator, since it is a between operator, it's working like this. So here, how much I entered? 100. Between operator, how it is working? 100. And then I have entered the range as 100 between 500, right? Then between operator, it will take between of these two. Between of these two. When I say between of these two is nothing but this rule is applicable if the amount is between of these two. Between of these two is nothing but 101 to 49 between. Understood? Understood, team, how the between operator is working? It will take the between of these two. So that's why generally between operator is not recommended to use. So instead of confusing ourselves like this, we can configure in a different way. So we can configure like this. Greater than or equal to, see here how I'm configuring, greater than or equal to 100. Greater than or equal to 100. Again, I'm adding the condition. Yes, I would like to add the condition below. And the condition is requisition amount. And operator, I'm selecting less than or equal to 500. Okay. So see here how we are using the between operator here. Greater than or equal to 100. and less than or equal to 500. Clear?
Yes.
Clear how to use the between operator? Good.
But Krishna, in this,
Yes.
in the
Yeah,
first,
I'll come to that. I'll come to
Okay.
that, madam. I know. Because see, first of all, I want to explain how the between operator is used. So if I configure, say by keeping the first rule in mind, the basic concept is gonna be confused. We'll come to that. Clear, right? So suppose here what will happen? Greater than or equal to 100 is nothing but it starts from the 100. Okay, and less than or equal to 500 means the range ends with 100. Okay. Clear on how to use the between operator?
yes, Krishna.
Yes.
Now, so here, if you create a requisition for 100 rupees, if you create a requisition for 100, it will throw error. Application will throw error. Why application will throw error? Because the two rules are gonna clash here. Application is not able to understand whether it should pick up this rule or it should pick up this rule. Okay, here conditions matching because you mentioned equal operator here equal to 100 and here also greater than or equal to 100. Okay, so you should not write the conditions like this by clashing. Okay, so here that's why I'm going to configure like this operator just greater than 100. Okay, now requisition, when I say 100, what is this 100? It's 100 rupees. It is 100 rupees or $100 or 100 euros. What is that? So for that, currency is also there. If you click on add below condition, you can also add the currency. You can also add the currency as a condition. Functional currency. And the value I'm selecting as INR. That means this 100 or 500 is nothing but it's rupees. Right? It's rupees. This is how you can add the currency also condition. Suppose you are just mentioning the amount. What about BU? Whether this requisition is from which BU? Is from India BU or US BU or UK BU? What is a BU? That BU also you can add as a condition. If you click on add condition, so here you can, I'm directly searching with the condition. On the requisition header screen, requisitioning business unit, requisitioning business unit is equals to which BU? This is one more condition. Okay. So total I covered how many conditions here? 3 conditions. One is business unit condition, and another one is currency condition, and another one is amount condition. Amount condition. Generally in every project, these are mandatory. I think what these are very, very important conditions, because always approvals should be based on the approval amount only, right? Based on the approval amount only. If the requisition amount is 1 crore, it should be approved by maybe your vice president. If it is more than 1 crore, it should be approved by the CEO. Okay. So the approval, based on the approval amount only, we'll route for the approvals. Approval amount is very, very important condition. Okay. Like this, a lot of conditions are there. Couple of important conditions I have given as a table in the document, and this is the table. So requisition level conditions I've given as a table. Okay. On the requisition header, what are the important conditions? BU, and then requisition amount and the currency. So these 3 important conditions I just covered. And remaining important conditions is nothing but you can configure approvals based on the type of requisition also. Okay, the requisition can be internal requisition or it can be external requisition also. External requisition, if you are creating external requisition, means you are expecting the product to be procured from the external party, nothing but supplier. If you are creating internal requisition, means that need to be internally transferred. Hope you remember the concept of transfer order. While discussing the intra transfer, I have given the overview on the transfer order topic also.
Yes.
Okay, so based on the requisition type, we can route for the approvals also. Okay, for internal requisitions, we need not to route for many people approval, because internally you are procuring, internally you are transferring, so no need to configure complex approvals here for internal requisition. When you are procuring from outside, nothing but for external requisition, you can call many people to approve that particular requisition. And also based on the job of the employee also. Based on the job of the employee. When I say job of the employee, suppose I'm the vice president. My job is, I'm the vice president. Suppose for just for 1,000 rupees and then for 5,000 rupees. Suppose if I create a requisition, it will going for approval is not good, right? Because I'm the vice president. I'm the vice president. Suppose I'm requesting something. Let us take that requisition amount is 5,000. And if it is approving by manager or junior manager, that's not good, because my job is vice president. Suppose if I'm requesting for something, that should be approved. So every job person will have their signing limit. Signing limit in the sense, manager is able to approve 10,000. Senior manager is able to approve 20,000 amount. And director is able to approve 50,000 amount. Okay, and vice president is able to approve till 1 lakh or maybe 1 crore. So every job in the company, they have their certain signing limits. So we can configure approvals based on the signing limit of the job also. So how to configure? Clear with the requirement? You understood the requirement team? Here the requirement you understood?
Yes. Yes.
Please respond when I ask.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Suppose based on the signing limit of the job signing limit. Okay, so this is one of the project requirement, one of the client requirement. Manager, for manager job, we are giving approval for 10K, and for director 20K, and for senior director 30K. Okay, and for junior VP let us take let's take 40K, and then VP, let's take 50K. So this is the limit provided by the client. Okay. So here, in this case, you have to configure approval rules based on the job of the employee. Suppose here, suppose if you take manager, so here, how many rules you have to write here? First of all, you should understand how many rules you have to write here. How many rules? For manager job, how many rules we need to write? For manager job. Rule number one. Rule number one. In case of rule number one, if the requisition amount is, less than 10K, then what you'll do? What is the action that you'll take? Requisition, I'm the manager, okay, and I'm creating a requisition for 10K, and what is my signing limit?
Auto approve. 10K.
10K.
It's auto approve. That's right.
Auto approve.
It's auto approve only. Because what is my signing limit? 10K.
10K.
And I'm creating a requisition for how much? 10K. Then what should happen? It
Auto
should be
approve.
auto approved. Suppose rule number two. Rule number two. So rule number two, if the amount is between 10K to 20K, then who should approve?
Manager.
Director.
So generally, who is having the approval limit here?
Director.
Director.
Director. Okay. Director should approve it. Director should approve it. Okay. I'll come to this point. Okay. First of all, please understand how many rules are required to create here. Okay. Next, how many rules we need to create for manager? Next, between 30K to
20K to 30K.
between 20K to 30K. Right? Who should approve in this case?
Senior director.
Senior director. Okay. Like this, how many rules we have to create? Remaining. Next rule is 30K to 40K, and then 40K to 50K. So next, how many rules we need to create?
Two.
Two. Totally, how many rules for manager we have to create?
5 rules. 5 rules.
5 rules. Okay. Suppose let us take director. So for manager, how many rules we need to create? 5 rules. Till rule number 5. Suppose for director, you tell me how many rules we need to create for director?
4. 20 to 30.
For director, how many rules?
4 rules.
4.
4 rules.
4 rules. That's right. Correct. For senior director, how many rules?
3.
3.
3.
Very good. For junior VP?
2.
2.
For VP?
1.
1.
Okay. I think you understood how many rules has to be created. Okay. Now, next coming to the action. This is action, right? Okay. I have directly given director, senior director. But this, when you're configuring the approvals based on the job of the employee, then you have to use job level hierarchy. You have to use job level hierarchy. So job level hierarchy in the sense, here, what is the job here? Manager. Okay. For manager job, what is the level? What is the level? You have to enter the level here. Hope you remember, while defining the job, we need to enter the level. I'm not sure how many of you Remember that while discussing the jobs creation, I have explained you. So system will understand which job is the highest job based on the level only. Based on the level only. Okay. Suppose for manager, I entered a job level as 1, for director 2, okay, for senior director 3, and then 4, and then 5. The application will understand based on this number which job is the highest job. So since this job is at the level 5, then application will understand. So this job is the highest job. We don't enter generally 10, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. We enter 10, 20, 30 like that. Because when you enter 10, 20, 30, 40, you have a flexibility to insert. In case you want to insert one more job in the middle, you can insert that. Nothing but for after manager, you want to insert senior manager. You can insert, right? So you can use 11, 12, or so you can insert between manager and director, between 10 and 20, you can insert couple of jobs here, right? That's why we don't enter 1, 2, 3 like that. We configure 10, 20, 30 for the future flexibility. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. And here, so based on this job level for manager, which is the level we have given 10. Okay. For director 20. And for VP, we have given 50. So application is going to assume the manager reports to director, director reports to senior director, senior director, based on this job level. Okay. When you are calling the job level hierarchy, let me show you. So in case of approval hierarchy, I covered 2. One is the supervisor hierarchy and another one is the single approver. Now I'm covering the position hierarchy. Sorry, not position hierarchy, job level hierarchy. Okay. The approval should start from whose job? Either requester job or preparer job. I'm selecting requester job. Okay. And job level. Okay. So here, when you're creating a requisition, if the I selected approval chain starts from the requester. And suppose here the requester is, I think it's better if I configure a new rule here. I'm creating new rule. I'm creating a new rule team. If the requisition amount between 20K to 30K, so in the condition I have entered 20,000 and 30,000. I am also adding the condition here. Requester job the job is equals to, not sure whether manager job is there or not. Okay, it's there. Okay, what are the conditions here? If the requester is equal to manager, and if the amount between 20,000 to 30,000, 20K to 30K, then as per our hierarchy, who should approve? As per this job level, who should approve?
Senior director.
Who should approve team?
Senior director.
Senior director. Okay, so the senior director is at which level for manager?
30.
Level number.
30.
Okay, suppose if manager is suppose if the requisition is from this manager, who should approve? If it is 30K means senior director. Okay, now here in this case, you see how I'm performing the action. I'm calling the job level hierarchy. I'm calling the job level hierarchy. And approval chain should start from the requester job, and approval should start with the manager and minimum job level. So minimum job level means it should go to minimum whose approval?
Manager.
Understood? Any concerns? So who should approve actually? Up to which level we need to take the approval? Up to which level?
Level 30.
Up to level 30. So minimum job level. Minimum job level it should be, because 30K approval limit, who is having the 30K approval limit? Senior director. Senior director is at which level? Level 30. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Anyone is having confusion, let me know.
Is this levels already defined in the application?
Yes, yes. While defining the job, we need to define the level also. Again, is the job, we have to define the level. While defining the job itself, we need to define the level. I covered definition of defining the job. When I covered job creation, when I covered team,
Question.
Mm.
you see here, before we create an employee, okay, we have created departments, jobs, and positions. Okay, and we are trying to assign the department, job, and position to the employee. Okay, while defining the job, you have to provide the level of that job also. No problem. If you are not clear, let me know, I'll repeat.
Clear, Krishna.
One response.
Clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here, one catch is, one thing you should be keep in mind. So here, you should not enter the level of the job. Here you have to enter the number of people that should approve. The number of people that should approve. Okay. When I say number of people, when I say number of people, after manager, because we are starting approval from whom?
Manager.
Manager. Okay, that means after the manager, how many levels of approval, how many persons approvals we are taking?
2 persons.
Two. You have to enter 2 here. You have to enter 2 over there. So always this field is nothing but how many people approval you're expecting. We are expecting approval from these two people, director and senior director. How many are there? 2 are there. Suppose if I select, it should start with the requester. Then here, how much number I should enter? Who is the requester here? Who is the
Manager.
requester here?
Manager.
So
Manager.
approval should start from whom?
Manager.
Manager. That means
3.
3.
here we should enter how much? 3. We should enter how much? 3 over here. You should not enter the job level. Here you should not enter the job level. You have to enter the number of people that will be approving that document. So top worker in the hierarchy, you can enter any employee name here, not an issue. Application is little slow and it's not okay, it pulls some. You can enter anybody name. Okay, it's just a mandatory field. You have to fill some person name there. That's it. Okay. Suppose I'm changing the condition here. I'm changing the condition here. Okay. If the requester is equal to, if the request is equal to director, let us take director. And if the requisition amount between 20K to 30K, then what should be the action?
Starts with the director.
Okay,
Level.
you can tell me when. If it starts with director, if it starts with manager, what will happen? You can tell me.
Minimum job levels are 2.
Minimum.
Job level. Minimum job level is
Like if it starts with requester, minimum job level will be.
so basically, you know, here you mentioned 30K. So 30K limit is having by whom? Senior director. That means here who is creating the nothing but who is requester for this requisition? Director.
Director.
Director is having approval limit till 20K. But we are expecting approval for 30K. So 30K, who is going to approve? Senior director. Okay, senior director means next level person. Okay, suppose if you select starts with requester, you have to enter 2, but if it starts with manager, only 1. Only 1.
Starts with director, right?
Oh, sorry, madam. Here, the option requester or manager.
Okay.
Okay. Understood, team?
Yes, sir.
Whoever is not understanding the concept and whoever is quiet, not asking me any questions, they are cheating themselves. You are cheating yourself. Do you want to cheat by yourself? Up to you, your wish. I'm selecting vice president. Okay. Now, what is the action?
Can be auto approved.
I did not expect it that you people take this much time. It should be auto approved, right?
Yes, sir.
It should be auto approved because VP is having how much signing limit? 50K. So what is the amount here between 20K to 30K? It should be automatically approved. Understood how to configure rules?
Yes.
And you end up in creating the rules for every job. Every job, like as I mentioned. Like as I mentioned, for manager, how many rules we are creating? 5 rules. Okay, because manager can create a requisition below 10K and between 10 to 20, between 20 to 30, between 30 to 40, and 40 to 50. So if created below 10K, what action you should take out of rule? Between 10 to 20K, who should approve? The next level person should approve. That means minimum job level 1. Okay, between 20 to 30K, who should approve? 2 people approve. So minimum job level 2. Okay, like that, we need to build the approval rules. So this is called as a job level hierarchy. This is one of the project requirement, one of the project approval requirement. So this is called as a matrix, approval matrix, and this is called as a signing limit. So we have to think of how many rules that we need to create. We have to think of different conditions and parameters and combinations. And then we have to create that many rules in the application. And after creating, we need to test. We need to test. We need to test every rule that we have created. Next, coming to the other hierarchy. Approval group. Approval group. When I say approval group, we can create a group of approvers. There is a separate screen. This is just a high level overview. Okay, we are not done with the approvals topic team. This is high level introduction only, just giving an overview of all the approved hierarchies today. And there is a task called approval group. If you click on the task, it is redirecting and then opening another page. What is the navigation? Same. Approvals, and I'm trying to create an approval group. Approval group is nothing but group of approvers. Group of approvers. If I click on new, I'm creating an approval group. Enter the name. I selected plus button. Enter the name. Procurement approvers group. You can add the people one by one into this group. Just anybody, okay? You can pull up anybody from the list. I'm adding group of approvers. Select the user and click on OK. Okay, like this, you can add the people into the group. You can add people into the group. And you can call this group in the approval hierarchy. I'm navigating to requisition approvals. And like how you are calling the supervisor hierarchy or position hierarchy. Similarly, you can call the approval group. Understood, team? Approval group is clear.
Sir, this approved group, any limit for the people to add in that group or?
I'm not sure, sir. Maximum I have added 20 people also, but what is the maximum number? I don't know. Maximum I have added 20, but I've not tested it's 50 members or 100 members. I have not tested that. And also, that's not relevant also because, you do not configure approvals for 50 people. That much big number you don't configure, right? Maybe max 10 or maybe, 20 also is really big use approval hierarchy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir,
Here with
I
the
have
approval group.
I have a question in auto approval.
Hmm.
Sir, if the amount is below 10K, it is
Hmm.
I mean it is been auto approved.
It's based on
But
the
the-
client requirement. If the client is expecting for small amount, let it auto
Yeah,
approve,
yeah,
then you have
okay.
to configure auto approve.
If the amount is 30K, why it is not auto approved for manager and others? We need to mention the minimum level job level, right?
So
It should be auto approved, right?
your question is here.
Please go to that notepad,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Mhm.
Please scroll down.
Okay.
Yeah, amount less than 10K is auto approved.
Okay.
But if the amount less than 30K, we need to, we require approval for director and manager, right?
Correct. Yeah, because
But
if
it
the
should be
if-
auto approved, right?
no,
It is
wait. I understood your question. Suppose if the amount is between 20K to 30K, suppose if manager is creating a requisition, what is the manager signing limit?
10K.
10K. You will configure auto approval in this case. If the manager is creating a requisition for 20K to 30K, you will configure
No.
auto approval.
No.
No, right?
Yeah, but it should, right? Because anyway, no, sir, I got confused. Okay.
It's raising the requisition.
So you are the manager. Okay, let us take your signing limit is 10,000.
Okay.
Okay. So if the requisition is created for you for 30K, you want auto approval?
No.
Who should approve that? As per
Senior
this.
director.
Yeah, then that means how many people should approve here? 2 people. So minimum job level 2.
2.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Approval group clear? Clear with the approval group? Hello, please respond.
Yes, sir.
Next, one more hierarchy is there. We discussed supervisor hierarchy and single approver, job level hierarchy, and approval group. One more hierarchy is there, that's called position hierarchy. Position hierarchy will work based on the position of the employee. Position. "54th batch, kindly wait for another 5 minutes. I'm in the middle of this topic. Let me finish and then I'll start your class. Okay. 54th batch, do you copy me? Do you hear me? 54.
Yes,
sir.
Yes,
sir.
Kindly give me another 5 minutes. I know it's late for you,
Okay,
but I want to finish this topic because I'm in the middle. Okay. So in case of position hierarchy, it will be based on the positions. What is the difference between job and position? I covered already. Hope you remember. Job is nothing but this is called its job, but position is nothing but HR manager. Position is specific. Okay. And warehouse manager. Manager is job, but the position is specific. Okay. HR, who's manager? HR manager or warehouse manager or finance manager or procurement manager. Okay. The position is basically specific. So here in the application, we can configure the positions also. In case if you configure the positions like this. Procurement associate, procurement director. Okay. And procurement VP. Okay, suppose you created 3 positions, and for all these 3 positions, you build the hierarchy. Nothing but this is the top position, followed by the bottom position, and followed by the bottom position. After creating the positions, we have to build the hierarchy like this. After building the hierarchy, so you have to select that hierarchy. And here in the approvals, you can configure. This is like a, I think for position hierarchy, it's better because if I explain just in 2-3 minutes, it's going to be confusion for you. It seems like I don't want to touch this. Let's do one thing. I've given the video, right? The video link. I've given the video link here for the position hierarchy. Okay. Please catch up this video, team. Please catch up this video, okay? For the position hierarchy. Then you'll get full clarity, because if I explain you like this in just 2-3 minutes, it's create a confusion. And I don't want to end you in the confusion for this class. That's why I'm not explaining. Please catch up this video, position hierarchy video. Okay. Now you can also catch up this supervisor hierarchy video also. So today I have explained you the look and feel of the approval screen. What is meant by pre-approval, approval, post-approval, and how to configure rules and how to build the conditions and how to call the hierarchies. So these are the hierarchies just today I covered: supervisor hierarchy, and then position hierarchy, and then job level hierarchy, approval group, and single approval. This is what I covered today. Okay. Any questions, please? Next class. When is the next class?
On
Monday.
Monday.
Okay. Thank you all. I'll see you on Monday. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.